Well, good morning. Hope today's live stream works better than yesterday when I had no sound on Facebook. It's May the 4th, so May the 4th be with you. Star Wars Day. Simply because of that pun. I'm going to take a turn through and around Cathedral today. I'm going to start by going up Albert Street. Look how green the grass looks over there. About -1 when I set out. Sun's out, so I'm trying it without even starting with my hat on. So it's a little cool, but it'll warm up as I walk. I have my gloves on. Started the day by sending money off to one of my Kickstarter authors, Garth Nix. He sent back his contract. This is for the anthology I kickstarted, Shapers of Worlds Volume 2, which will be out this fall for everybody. Working on assembling it now and editing it and all that good stuff. Getting contracts and stories and paying authors. I've discovered I like paying authors, being an author. Especially when it's not my money, it's money I raised through Kickstarter. The anthology features authors who were guests during the second year of my Aurora award-winning podcast, The World Shapers, theworldshapers.com, where I talk to other science fiction and fantasy authors about the creative process. And last year I kickstarted Shapers of Worlds, featuring first-year guests, and it's available everywhere right now if you'd like to get a copy, which I hope you will. If you're new to this, and this is the first time you're hearing about it, if you've walked with me before, you've heard about it many times at this point. So yeah, yesterday my Facebook live feed had no sound, and I have no idea why. I did nothing different. So I'm hoping it's working this morning. If you happen to be there, let me know that you can hear me. Same with YouTube. I don't know why it works perfectly some days, and some days it doesn't. And I don't do anything different. But the recording always works, and that's where most people watch it. Who are going to watch it on my YouTube channel. Well, many people do. I do get some viewers on Facebook as well. Just going to walk up Albert to Saskatchewan Drive and then sort of zigzag back through Cathedral today. Possibly a somewhat shorter walk, but I had a couple of really long ones over the weekend, so need to get back and get to work on The Tangled Stars, my next Dawn novel, which is now moving ahead. Also have some nonfiction work I have to do. Oops, squirrel. Do some nonfiction work I do today. Have to do today. Or tomorrow. It's due tomorrow. Hopefully I can see a comment if you leave one. I think my little cotton ball came off the microphone, so I hope the wind's not a problem. I'm not sure how much help it was anyway. Sunday's walk was very windy and a lot of wind noise on it despite having that over the microphone. Not too windy this morning, quite nice. Rapidly climbing above freezing, probably already is. Although it's supposed to be coolish the next little while. No really warm days like we had a week or so ago. So this is Albert Street, main drag, north-south through the city. We'll just walk straight up this side. Then when we get to Saskatchewan Drive a few blocks up, we'll turn left and start zigzagging back through Cathedral. This is original Saskatchewan Government Telephones building to the left, and now belongs to the Royal Saskatchewan Museum, so it's full of fossils and stuff like that. This is where the labs are. They do a lot of their work. As I mentioned before, there was a big news item. Oh, there's a plaque. Look. Oops, if I get my shadow out of the way, you can read it. So, built in Which actually say when it was built. Early part of the 20th century anyway. There's a big story about it. I think it was a dinosaur in amber, or something from that era in amber. You know, Jurassic Park stuff. And the fossil that they were talking about on Reuters and New York Times and all these news items was in that building, about 2 blocks from my house. So I thought that was kind of cool. The sun's very warm. I really did make the right choice in not putting on my hat. And I wish I'm not even wearing my gloves pretty quick. So lots of various little businesses and things on the other side. Royal Canadian Legion, Vision Travel, cleaners, some other things. There is, or was, a cafe over there. I don't know if it'll survive or not. Here to my left is Class Act Studios, where my daughter danced for many years and where she now works part-time. Yeah, Sweetie Pie's Bakery and Cafe over there. Don't know how they're doing. Hope they're still around. Class Act Studios. I've rehearsed in there too. Lyric singers used to rehearse in there. That's a, I guess you'd call it a choir. One of the old apartment buildings over there. A group of singers auditioned each year and does concerts. And of course, we're not doing anything live this year, but coming up this weekend is Flip the Script, Broadway in Reverse, which is the Lyric Singers under Regina Lyric Musical Theater. And it's Broadway songs, gender swapped. So men singing women's songs and vice versa. And I've recorded already and can't wait to see it. I did it in front of a green screen, so I don't know what it's going to look like. I did all 4 parts of the quartet. Oh, hello. There's Miriam on YouTube, so at least I know that's working. Hi, Miriam. I did all 4 parts of the quartet, recorded each one separately, reacting to the other members of the quartet, keeping a mental image, hopefully, in my head of where they were supposed to be, left or right of me. And then I set all 4 in and then assembled them into one piece, so it looks like I'm singing with myself. So I can't wait to see that. And then I did a duet with my wife. She sang the part that's usually sung by the man, and I sang the women's part. And then our daughter Alice did a solo. So that's all coming up this weekend, and you can watch it from anywhere in the world. Go to reginalyric.com to get your tickets. $25. Any cats in the window at the cat cafe? No, none of them are in the window. Oh, well, there's one. This is a cat cafe. There's a lovely black fellow there. Nice gallery here, Nouveau Gallery. Probably about a 2-hour show, I think. It's got some really talented people in it, besides us. We're not talented, but you know what I mean. And if you happen to live in Regina, you can even get a meal with it from the German Club for another $20. This is what we're doing. We'll watch it on Saturday, because Alice works on Friday nights. till about 8:30. Credit Union Central over there. That's Fire Hall number 1. Getting quite warm already. Walking on the sunny side of the street here. On the sunny side of the street. I've got a no walk, but I could tell by the lights that I've actually got the green, so I'm good. Fiat Thai here, of our favorite restaurants to get food quickly from. There's more of Credit Union Central there. Over here on the left is the Cathedral Social Hall. Great selection of beer. Good restaurant. Right now we still have no in-person dining, but takeout. Coming up to Victoria Avenue, which I've walked down before to the right, but kind of the main east-west road through town, in a way. At least from here to the east. It'll take you straight out eventually to the Trans-Canada. Although we now have a bypass on the Trans-Canada, so there's less heavy truck traffic out on East Victoria. Unlikely to walk out there. It's not really pedestrian friendly. I might walk in the neighborhoods around there, but I don't think I'd be walking down Victoria out there. First downtown's over there. Over here is the former department store that's now the wheat, Viterra, used to be the wheat pool. It has some nice ornamentation on it. If you look up, there's even sculptures up there. Want to see what that other comment was. Is that the city center? Yeah, down there is city center. I'm kind of walking on the west edge of it. So that's Victoria Avenue, going down by the Hotel Saskatchewan and other things. And the tall building just coming into view over there is City Hall with the antennas on top of it. It's designed so that top floor lights up gold at night to represent a crown, because this is the Queen City, named after Queen Victoria. Downtown is not very big, really, just a few square blocks of what you'd really call the main downtown core. But Regina's only 220,000, I think. Something like that. The whole province is 1.2 or 3 million, and it's huge. It's the size of Texas. The gold building over there is SGI, Saskatchewan Government Insurance. Office building here on my left, too. Cooperator's place. Cooperator's is an insurance company. That building on the other corner has pharmacy and doctor's offices and other kinds of offices in it. More downtown. Down that way. This brings us to 12th. We're going up to Saskatchewan Drive before we turn left and start back in a zigzag fashion. Oh, good, just got the light. There we go, another view downtown. When I first moved here, there was a movie theater on the corner up there. That 3-story building is, 4-story building. we don't have a downtown movie theater now. They're all out in various edges. So both that and that big one there are new since I've lived here. If you need a passport, you get it from this building to my left, up on the second floor. It's just an office building. Saskatchewan Place, it's called. Service Canada, passport service. It's in there. Getting quite warm. I'll be glad to move off of the sunny street with the concrete and buildings. It's warmer on this side than I thought when I decided to wear my jacket. An older building over there in the corner. It's had various things in it. When this was a movie theater here, it was just a low building. There used to be a coffee shop in there that got quite a bit of post-movie business, but it's long gone. Canadian Mental Health Association to my left. Boring building. I should be able to jaywalk here if I'm careful. There's always been a Burger King there. There you go, another view downtown. This is actually one of the main downtown streets if you went on down there. Oh, taking off my gloves and unzipping my coat. And then this is Saskatchewan Drive, major intersection. Saskatchewan Drive is an old road, and that it's had things on it since the city started. Well, everything on it now is newer than that, I think. Okay, we're going to turn left here instead of going on down to Dudney this time. So now that's Rosary Stadium, the white dome ahead of us, home of the Saskatchewan Roughriders of the Canadian Football League. About a 30, I can never remember the exact numbers. I think 38,000 is too big, so I'm going to say 33,000 seat stadium. I did walk up there one day, and I'll do it again sometime. I'm not going to stay on Saskatchewan Drive very far. The cars are right there in that lane driving, and I'm right here on the sidewalk. It's a pretty beautiful place in its own way, parts of it, not where I am right now. Okay, now we're going to start back zigzagging, because I do like my zigzag walks. If there's anybody on Facebook, let me know, and let me know that you can hear me. Yesterday there was no sound on Facebook. I don't know why. So this probably was all residential at one point, but now it's a mixture with some businesses along there. There's an old apartment building to our left in front of us there. Used to be a cabinet store to our right where we bought cabinets for our condo 25 years ago. It's not there anymore. Lots of parking lots. A bit cooler back here that I'm not right up against the buildings with the sun on the concrete. All right, we will zig to our right up here. random ones. Some of them look empty. And a church there on the left. I don't remember which one it is. Church of God, maybe? I can't see a sign from where I am. You can see the cross. Dead giveaway to a church. He's turning. Red brick building is another apartment building. This is the Union Center here to my left. That's the very union-y mural on it. Never been a union guy. Belonged to a couple of them when I had to, but it's been rare in my line of work. I belong to Canadian Actors Equity, which is kind of a union, but hardly the steel workers. I think, just to stretch this out a little differently than the last time I came this way, I'll go 2 blocks before I turn left. Go 2 blocks east, west, 1 block south as I zigzag. See what that does. Used to be a school in this vacant lot here. That's why it's there. I don't know when they tore it down. I used to walk past it. I mean, I knew it quit being a school. At some point it got torn down. At the moment, it's nothing but a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of lot. Ooh, arm's getting sore, switch hands. Again, you always see things like that. 2 boots, all alone, in a field. How did they get there? Somebody threw them out a car window or something? So just grass and mud. But it used to be a schoolyard. YWCA Regina will be using this place for seasonal programs as a sign. So there you go. Okay, now we'll turn south for another block. I could walk straight down Metallic here. It would take me straight home, but that would be shorter than I'm looking to do, so I'll stretch it out a bit. If you're on Facebook, let me know, because I'm really curious as to whether I've got sound or not today on the live stream. You can see a touch of green in all the trees now, and the grass is quite green. A couple more weeks, everything should be properly leafed out. 2 or 3 weeks. Starting to see flowers here and there, tulips, the ones, things like that come up early. Some new places along here, others that have been done up. I think this area has improved in the last little while. Probably enjoy having the open space across the street. Bit of a view. Here's Victoria again. We'll take a couple of blocks to the right on Victoria now, to the west. To the west. Go west, young man. Or, let's say, late middle-aged man. I prefer not to call myself old man just yet at 61, going on 62, but you can see official senior citizendom from here. Alright, lots of old, interesting old houses here on Victoria. It's this big boulevard with trees down the middle. But here and there they've been replaced by apartment buildings too. Some of the big old houses are now apartment buildings, multiple dwellings in them. Song stuck in my head is Sunny Side of the Street because I mentioned it once early in the walk and now it's stuck there. Nice old houses. It'd be a few years earlier than ours, I think. So they're all over 100 years old now, I would think, these old ones. I'll go one more block this way and go down the 15th. Just looking up the street. This takes us by the one I pointed out before. This beautiful brick house over on the right was built not long after the 1912 tornado that devastated downtown Regina and killed 20-some people. And the guy that built it wanted to make sure he had a house that was tornado-proof. So he built this. It has steel beam construction, concrete floors, so it's built like a skyscraper. And I don't know, I think it's probably got more than one building in it now, but I'm not sure. It might be a single family dwelling still. Looks well cared for anyway. That's in my book, Historic Walks of Regina and Moose Jaw. Oh, there goes my unstable internet connection warning. It's very annoying, especially on Victoria Avenue. You wouldn't think you'd get it. Looking down Victoria there. This is the oncoming traffic side. I'll mosey down here to 13th and go a couple of more blocks to the right. Here, obviously, the it's probably old houses have been replaced by apartment building sometime in the last couple of decades. Still old houses on this side, though. This is going to bring us out. Can't see the spires yet, but we're coming up on the cathedral. One side or the other. Oh, it's to our right. Okay. Well, that's the way we're going. So this takes us past Des Arts, candy and ice cream store. Well, these are old apartments or row house. We don't have a lot of row houses in Regina, but this is some of them. Quite old. So that's the cathedral coming in the side on the right, Holy Rosary Cathedral. This over here is Westminster United Church, which has a lovely auditorium for music with the dome. And this here on the corner is Des Arts, which is a candy and coffee store. Coffee, ice cream. There you go, there's... Gotta get the spires all the way in. Look up, look way up. That's the cathedral. Rosary Cathedral, built in 1910, I want to say, somewhere along in there. So it's over 100 years old now. And a university bookstore on my right. Fairly new local bookstore. It has a lot of my books in it. I like these houses along here. They're all shops now, but they have a nice look and they're interestingly colored. And right down on the corner here is the 13th Avenue Coffee House. Not one I've ever sat in to write. I don't like it very much for writing, but it's a nice place. I used to know someone who lived in this apartment building here. I've been up there many years ago now, before I was married, in fact, because I think I was going out on a date with somebody that lived up there. "30 years ago now, probably. Or more. Over here, this was a nunnery. Now it's condos. Still has the cross on top. Okay, we will zig again up here. Across 13th when we can. I would not personally have run across in front of that oncoming traffic kid. I suspect his parents would have said something had they seen that. Anybody on Facebook, let me know. I'm still wondering if my sound is working today. I know YouTube seems to be okay because Miriam has checked in from YouTube. All right. You don't have to run in front of oncoming traffic. It's this end of the old nunnery. There's a lovely chapel in there I've been in a couple of times. It's sung in. Did know somebody that lived there, so I've been in one of those condos. It's been years now. The open space to the left is Holy Rosary School's playground. I think they're closing that school. We're going to zig to the right again. So this will take us, it can only go one block west here. This will take us to Elphinstone. Back. Modern house tucked in with the older ones. To the left, to the south, to the south, to the south. Just a half block, and then we'll keep over to Elphinstone, I guess. And then straight, start zigging back towards home. And I'll get back to work on the Tangled Stars. I've been very uncertain about it, but reading over the first 70,000 words, which is what I've been doing, I've realized it's fun. I think readers will enjoy it. So I'll press on now and finish it. I'd like to submit it by the end of the month. I don't know if I can get there or not. All right, I'm not going any further that way than Elphinstone, so now I'll turn south on Elphinstone and zigzag home from there. I walked by the creek yesterday, so I won't do that today. I'll stick to some of the other paths. It's Connaught School over on the right. The kids are. They're back in school. Which is nice to see. Used to be a really old school, Connaught School. and they tore that down. It had serious problems. And they built that brand new one over there. And as I've said before, parents and those who remember the old school and people who like old buildings weren't too happy about that. And yet, you know, the kids would rather have a brand new school with all the amenities than be stuck in a 100-year-old school. And that's been a couple of years now, at least. Maybe 3 or 4, I don't know, I've lost track. So, you know, there's a whole generation now that never knew the old school. They're going to school there. This is Elphin Stone. One of our long straight sections right here. With the trees, big trees, elm trees. Still hanging on despite Dutch elm disease all around. They do a good job of keeping it out of the city. But every year or two you'll hear of trees having to be cut down. Not necessarily Dutch elm. These elms are probably at near the end of their natural lifespan anyway. So we lose a few here and there. We've lost 2 or 3 on our Crescent over the years, but not the ones in front of our house yet, which is good. So yesterday, I came across this intersection from the right and walked south directly ahead of us, but today I will turn left. See? So much variation. So I've got some Kickstarter work to do. I'm still waiting for some addresses to come in to send to authors who are sending signed copies of books. I've got a whole bunch of books to mail, which is a big job, I know, from last year. But I'll get to it before too long. The expectation is only, like in the Kickstarter, awards would be fulfilled by this fall because that's when the anthology itself comes out. But I like to get out the ones I can. The ones that aren't tied to being shipped out at the same time as the anthology, and there really isn't anything like that. The anthology will go out all by itself. So I figure if I can get some of the other rewards out beforehand, that makes people happy to get rewards starting coming in and keeps the anthology front of mind. St. Mary's Anglican Church. Been in there a few times for this and that. Sang at a funeral there once. That was an odd experience because this fellow was dying, knew he was dying. And his wife asked me to sing at his funeral and then invited me over to meet him. And we had, you know, tea, and it was just kind of odd to be talking to him and saying, yes, well, I'm, you know, what do you say? I'm looking forward to singing at your funeral. You can't really say that. So it was a bit uncomfortable. But anyway, I was honored to be asked, and I sang. I didn't know him. I just lived a couple of doors down from them. I think they knew me through Regina Lyric Musical Theatre, Regina Lyric Light Opera back then, productions. I sung at a few funerals over the years, more weddings. Weddings are more fun. We will zig again. Does that take us to Leopold if we do that? Lost track of what street I'm on. I think I'm just 1 block over from Elphinstone, so I don't think Leopold is quite the next one. Straight ahead of us then is the dike I've sometimes walked along. Yeah, Elphinstone is 1 block, so. We still got Athol up here. Here's what we'll turn right down. And this is College Avenue, which has been interrupted close to our house where it runs into Albert Street. Before I got here, they changed it so that there's one-way block to keep you from having through traffic along College from east to west, because there's a school right there and they wanted to slow down traffic, protect children. So it runs east-west for a very long way, and it's a major road, but it doesn't go by, doesn't go straight through. Morning. We'll go down Ethel here. No, let's switch sides though. I don't know what they're doing over there. It's like they tore down a house. Probably means there'll be a new one being built there. Yeah, we take pretty good care of our trees, every single one of which was planted by somebody. None of these trees grew here naturally. Miriam was just saying the trees are well protected, which is awesome. Oof. Out for the dips. Dog walkers. Okay, I've walked down this little piece before, so maybe I'll walk down the alley to the right just to be different. Park and the dike over there, so flood protection for the creek on the other side. Playground. Playgrounds used to matter a lot more when Alice was little. She always wanted to stop and play at playgrounds. Which, you know, I miss her being little. I don't particularly miss sitting around playgrounds. More fun for the kids than the parents who are stuck there watching them. Goose coming right overhead there. I think I caught him a little bit. All right, now we'll head this way towards home. How long has this been? 41 minutes, so this won't be a full hour today. But again, I did 2 really long ones over the weekend, so I don't mind so much shorter ones this time. So this will be a Leopold Crescent ahead of us. Quite a bit of leaves there, you can see, coming out. Stayed over here because of the cars that were coming. Oh, I'm not on Leopold. I'm still one short of Leopold. Okay, well, Leopold's coming up soon. I guess I'm far enough south now, I'll actually kind of be south of its curve. This is Garnet Street, and I lived, when I first moved to town, 3 houses down on the left. Little house, it's still there. I've walked by it before. Built right after the First World War. It's just a box, really. The bedrooms open directly off of the living room, the kitchen, it's all in the living room, or all one big room. And the bathroom opens directly off of the kitchen, which is, you know, a little odd. Didn't have a shower, just a bathtub. And in the basement, you got to through stairs that went directly down from the kitchen floor. So it was a very basic plan, but for a bachelor, it worked well. I had a good-sized bedroom, and the other room was a good-sized den where I had my desk and computer and filing cabinets and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't care that the bathroom was directly off of the kitchen. It wasn't like I was doing a lot of entertaining. Almost none. Margaret Ann was there a few times when we were dating. Had my piano. Had the neighbor complain once because I was playing the piano late at night. I never thought about it, but the houses were close together and my window was open, so it was bothering her. So I quit. I had no intention of being a bother. It just was the way it worked out. Just a couple more blocks now. If you've walked with me before, you should recognize these ones over here. These row houses. I'm going to switch arms again. For some reason, it's really bothering my right arm today. Often I don't feel it, but today I am. Adjust that again so it's pointing straight ahead. So Leopold Crescent is the curving one here to the left, which I thought I was on, but I still didn't come far enough this way. Odd intersection. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 roads. Leopold Crescent intersects with these 2 right-angle streets here. Fortunately, it's not very busy, or it would need more traffic control than it has, which is none. This is a stop sign on the road to the right. Otherwise, there's no control. Other people who live there. I've been in that house a few times. It's quite nice inside. We'll go up the alley. Just to vary things a bit. We go over to Angus Crescent. It's a zigzag, slight zigzag to this alley. You know how I like zigzags. Three-way intersection. That one actually curves because it goes in behind the crescent. Brown bins are garbage and blue bins are recycling. Recycling's picked up every 2 weeks. This time of the year, garbage is once a week. In the winter, it's only every 2 weeks because they figure it's so cold. The garbage isn't going to smell. And they're right. Practically through the intersection where I will stop, so I never heard from anybody on Facebook. I hope there was sound. If anybody was watching, I'll find out once I get home. And Miriam, at least, watching on YouTube, thanks for coming with me on another walk. And anybody else who happens to have been watching on YouTube, thanks as well. And if you're watching the replay, the recording, I hope you enjoyed it. I got my exercise. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye for now.